everyone. Welcome to Second Act with Kat. I'm Kat, and if you're new here, well, this channel is all about transitioning into your midlife. So, women in your 40s and 50s, if you're not a woman, it's okay. You're welcome. Everyone's welcome here. So, if anything, for men coming on this channel, if you have a wife or a significant other, a woman in your life that is going into like perimenopause or menopause or in their 40s and 50s, this will help you relate and understand with what they're going through. I also live a low carb life. I'd say keto, but I'm not so strict as, following a strict keto diet. I do allow some carbs into my diet too as well. What my plan is really just trying to eat healthy as can be, clean ingredients, and just trying to really feed my body and make sure that I'm living a good, healthy life and that I feel good, and functioning well and everything like that. So that's what we're here for. So as promised, I said I would get back into my weekly videos, and that was my plan, and I'm sticking to it. So it is Sunday. Sunday is like my Saturday and Sunday. I usually try to pick one of those days and say it's my reset day. Yesterday, I ended up, my husband is big into RC airplanes. So if you're not familiar with RC airplanes, they are remote controlled or radio controlled. I guess really technically it's radio controlled. So see people holding those radios in their hands and they're flying the airplanes in the air, little miniature ones. That's what my husband does. He designs them, builds them, flies them, extremely passionate about it. In fact, he is in a club in Michigan in White Lake that we belong to, and the club is so big that they have an executive board, and trying to think of all the different things to say with it. And he's on the executive board, and somehow I got rooked into the whole thing and helping out with it. And I've been on the executive board for like 10 years. I'm the secretary, he's the treasurer. And so yesterday we did this whole Zoom call meeting for hours and hours all about RC airplanes. So my reset day got taken up a little bit, but that's all right. My husband now owes me. That's what women do. We say the men owes them when they have to give up time like that. It's like a whole day. So it's supposed to be from 8 a.m. till 6 p.m. And fortunately, the meeting wrapped up at like 2:30. And I was like, are you kidding? It's done already? I was so excited. So it was wonderful. So anyway, so that was my day yesterday. Fortunately, it was on Zoom and you didn't have cameras on, so I could take the laptop around the house and kind of do some other things. I was folding laundry. I was definitely getting some other things done in the day. I did my nails. I made the most of that Zoom call to be as productive as possible because, I told you guys I'm back to work and I do a commute in there. So my days are long. And so my precious weekends, that's for me. So today is more of my reset day. I'm about to exercise. It is, I think, a little after 3. Oh, it's almost 4. The day is really getting away from me. I had to do all my grocery shopping this morning, so I got up early and did that before breakfast. I learned my lesson. Don't go to the grocery store hungry. I usually know better than to do that. And oh my God. And I went to Meijer. Meijer is in Michigan. That's like our big, huge grocery store. It has everything, kind of like a Walmart, and groceries, and you can buy your clothes and everything. You can just buy everything there at Meijer. So I did my grocery shopping at Meijer. And then I love Aldi. And they have a brand new one that just opened up near the Meijer that I grocery shop at. In fact, if you go through my videos and you watch, I got a golden ticket. That was at the grand opening for the Aldi that's right over by us. So I popped in there really quick. That's the nice thing about Aldi is it's not a big store. So I feel like I can pop in there really quick, grab a few little essentials. And I kind of saved more like the meat stuff. So I bought my chicken breast there, and I bought a chuck roast. Chuck roasts they're on the pricey side, but I had a $10 gift card. And that was from that video. If you go back and watch my videos, I got a $10 gift card to Aldi, and I have been searching everywhere. I knew I put it in my purse. I thought I put it specifically in a slot in my wallet. Somehow it must have fallen out, and I cleaned out my purse, and in the bottom of my purse it like slid under something, and fortunately I switched purses, and just with going through the purse and pulling everything out, I finally found the gift card and said that I deserved the chuck roast with the gift card. So that's what I bought. Not that it paid for. $10 just took a nice chunk off of that chuck roast. So yeah, so that was my day, and I'm about to work out. And then I thought I would cover really quick just a topic for anyone going through like perimenopause and menopause, going through symptoms and everything like that of perimenopause and menopause. And I know how bad that I had suffered with some of the symptoms when I was going through perimenopause. I remember going to um, my gynecologist and talking to her about it, and just saying, like, oh my gosh, the night sweats, and I just, the insomnia, like waking up in the middle of the night, feeling really anxious, not being able to get back to sleep, feeling sleep deprived, brain fog. So anyways, and she just kind of said, you're in that stage, and then you're going through perimenopause, and that's just what this part of life is like, and so you're just like, oh, okay. And then I remember asking her, well, how long does this go for? And she's like, oh, it can vary for some people for a few years to over 10 years. And I was like, oh my gosh, wow. And I just like, okay, this is what we had to deal with. And then I started doing more research and hearing, as I was doing research, all these women getting out there and saying you need to empower yourself and educate yourself about, what you can do, and that there is HRT, hormone replacement therapy, that you can look into and get help from it. And that it's not the evil devil that doctors have made it seem like. They had done a research back in, it was the, oh my gosh, I'm sorry, I was supposed to have all this facts in front of you, but there was a women's study that was done, I want to say it was back in like the early 2000s, and the study ended up coming back, and they said HRT causes breast cancer, and they basically made all doctors like, you should not be prescribing that, it's going to cause cancer. And so women just all, HRT was helping them, and all these women stopped taking it. And now it's become like a taboo thing. Like, you feel like if you're taking HRT, you need to be quiet about it, not share it, and not discuss it with people. And fortunately, there are a lot of doctors out there that are now trying to be an advocate for women and say that study was flawed, and that they are now trying to do additional research to prove that HRT is safer, and that the help from HRT does more help than the risks involved with it. And the risks is more minute than most people think. So anyways, I thought I would just share in here my, what I've gone through and what I've done to help out with now menopause symptoms, because I now have transitioned from perimenopause to official menopause. The difference in there with perimenopause is that your hormones are starting to cut back in there. Excuse my voice. Yeah, so your hormones, you're going through that change, or your hormones are like a roller coaster, up and down, and it's no wonder that you go through a lot of crazy symptoms in there during perimenopause. And then menopause is actually the official, when your periods stop and it's been a year since your last period. That's the official, the day menopause. And then following that next day is postmenopause. So it seems crazy, but anyway, so I guess I'm postmenopausal. It has been a year since it's been, oh my gosh, probably longer than a year. But I did go on HRT. I did that a little over a year ago. And when I did, it caused me to have a little bit of spotting in there, which then technically, I guess, I had like a period. And so it kind of took me out of menopause, or, semi, I had to say, all right, I had one, reset the day again. And that happened to me multiple times. I even told my gynecologist, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'll go almost a full year. And then all of a sudden my period would come back. And I thought, that's crazy. Why are you back? It's been almost a year. So that happened to me multiple times where I went a very long period of time. So now it's been officially a year. It's gone. It's gone, and I'm okay with that. I'm definitely okay with that, and I'm 51, so I think I'm in a normal age for being postmenopausal. So, what I thought I'd share, there's a book that I read, and this is from Dr. Mary Claire Haver, and she is a huge advocate, one of those women that has really gotten out there in front of people and let it be known that menopause is definitely something, it happens to all women. You're going to go through it, and that you need to be an advocate for yourself, that you want to make sure that, when you go to your doctor, that they're helping you out, that they're hearing you and they're giving you solutions. And if they're not willing to do it, then either you need to find another doctor or see if your doctor is willing to suggest somebody else that you can talk to about it. Do you have to go on HRT? No, there's other options out there too as well. There's herbal supplements out there. There are different things out there. If cancer runs in your family, maybe HRT definitely is not an option for you. And there are, again, like I said, talking with a doctor and looking what options are out there is definitely a good thing. I had decided that HRT was a good option for me. I ended up, after speaking with multiple doctors in the area and feeling like I was not getting any help at all, that I ended up doing, going to MIDI Health, which is doing like a telehealth, doing that online and through like a Zoom, you're doing it through the web and meeting with them um, through a virtual website and having an appointment with them and discussing your health. You do a whole health assessment in there and then actually meet with somebody and talk with them through the web, which I found really helpful. I thought I would share in here too, because Dr. Haver in her book, so the book is The New Menopause, just came out, I think, a little over a year ago. And it had a list in there of things that, like, what are some of the symptoms that you're going through and that you're suffering from? And are they related to the perimenopause and menopause? So I'm not going to read them all off, but I thought I would, at least the ones that I checked off. Alcohol tolerance changes. So drinking alcohol is no longer fun to me. If anything, I would say I feel like I pay the price and it's not even worth it to me. If I have some alcohol, I feel like that night, oh my gosh, I am not going to sleep well. I'm going to have insomnia like crazy. I'm going to maybe fall asleep initially really great. And then I will wake up in the middle of the night and just, again, feeling anxious and not be able to get back to sleep. So not worth it to me. My anxiety has definitely gotten worse as I went through perimenopause and menopause. And they even talk about arthritis and asthma. I didn't check those off, but I do have asthma. Bloating, finding that weight loss and exercising and dieting, that what worked in your 20s and 30s does not work anymore for your body. And that is really frustrating, where the weight is going on in your body, that you're finding that the weight is all of a sudden going all around your middle. I've always been like more of a pear shape. And then I was like, why am I getting so thick in my waist? Like, what is going on here? And then feeling like I was doing everything right and not making any progress with the scale or my clothes changing and stuff too. So those are all symptoms, again, with menopause and perimenopause. Brain fog, that was something that I definitely, and I was going through, and I told everybody that I'd been laid off. But a few years ago, I had gotten a role. I had moved up and taken a manager role. I was developing a brand new team to our bank and having to start off from scratch with team members reporting to me. And oh my gosh, I was going through such brain fog at that time. I was just like feeling like an idiot. And I was like, why can I not think? Why can't I remember things? And you know what it came down to is that I was really suffering from the perimenopause. Brittle nails is in there, dental problems, depression, dry, itchy eyes, difficult concentrating, again, kind of with that brain fog, the hot flashes, heart palpitations, high cholesterol, incontinence, even irritable bowel syndrome. I didn't really suffer from that, but you know, some people might. Memory issues, your menstrual cycle changes, mood changes. Oh my gosh, I didn't even want to be around myself sometimes. The night sweats, sleep disturbances. I've mentioned that a few times. Unwanted hair growth. Oh, fun. Vaginal dryness. Even, you know, just the lack of being intimate with your significant other and everything too. Vertigo, weight gain, wrinkles. So those are just, and that's not all of them. I mean, it's quite a bit of them and stuff, and I certainly can relate with the majority of what I just listed on there. So what I found is that my doctor, I have not had a hysterectomy, so I still have my uterus. So when I met with the doctor, she prescribed for me, and I brought everything so I could talk about it. This is a patch. This is the estradiol patch. It is 0.075 milligrams, so it's a very small amount. In here is just, there's a bunch of patches, and you just open one up, and they're just tiny as can be. And you put one on your abdomen, and for me, I do this twice a week. So I will remove one. I do it Wednesdays and Saturdays. So I just did it yesterday. Today's Sunday. So yesterday, I took off an old one and put on a new one. Usually try to move it around. If I hit it on one side, you know, like the left side, I'll go into the right side, and I just try to not put it on the same place over and over again. So I just try to adjust the spot on it. And then because I do still have my uterus, then you should do a combination of estradiol and progesterone. So I do have a dosage. She actually ended up increasing my progesterone because that's when I was spotting, and we were trying to figure out why am I spotting. So I take a 200 milligram capsule of progesterone. It's one capsule. All right, picking back up again. I got interrupted. All right, so, and then I take one of the progesterone pills. I take one daily. So these are daily, and the estradiol patches, I do that twice a week. So putting on a new patch Wednesdays and Saturdays. You don't have to do Wednesdays and Saturdays. The nice thing, and this box even helps you out on it, and I even checked it off on there too. So I might have to fix it so you guys can read it so it's not backwards. But it actually allows you to check it off on there. So if you did start it off the week on a Sunday, then it says pick it back up again on Wednesday, or Monday, Thursday, Tuesday, Friday, Wednesday, Saturday, Thursday, Sunday. So it's nice. You just check off on there where you started off with, and it will do a little reminder on there for you and adjust it. To help out so that my libido is a little bit better, I do also do, and you can tell this is running out. I definitely need to. My doctor did call the prescription over a while ago to the pharmacist, so I need to let them know that I need to pick this back up again. But this is estradiol too, but it's a vaginal cream. So you just put a pea size on. My doctor ended up telling me just put it on your finger. But there is like a applicator that comes with it, and you can use the applicator to put it on, and you just goes up inside you. Just that little dab in there and everything. And that really just helps out with, you know, I talked about vaginal dryness. It helps out with that. Helps out a little bit with the libido and everything too. But a combination of all three, as soon as I started taking it, oh my gosh, amazing. Just amazing. memory so much better. I felt like I was like, oh my God, it's the old Kathy again. I can remember things. It works up there. I can retain things. Um, Mood wise, just feeling like I can handle things a little bit better. My anxiety felt better. I didn't feel as depressed. The sleeping, oh my gosh, almost immediately I got like a full night's sleep. Or I woke up in the morning and I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't get up in the middle of the night and go to the bathroom. Are you kidding? Um, the night sweats immediately went away, and the hot flashes, all of that stopped in there too. So the symptoms that I was going through, again, there are potentially some risks by taking HRT, and it really just comes down to you. I'm not a doctor. I am not trying to push this on you. I'm just sharing my story with you and how it's helped me. And then I feel like I'm able to function in there better too as well. If anybody is thinking about taking HRT, definitely do your due diligence and research it to make sure if it's a good fit for you. Talk with your doctor about it to see what your doctor feels about it. My OBGYN, I did tell her that I'm now on it. She would not prescribe it, but she won't tell me that, I should not take it, and she definitely has concerns about the risk with it, but she understands why I'm taking it. Which just makes me feel like I really would like to find a local doctor in my area that's willing to work with me, that's willing to prescribe the HRT too as well. So I continue to do my research to try to find the right fit doctor to help me out with that. In the meantime, MIDI is great, and I will continue to see the doctors there at MIDI too as well. But I really would like a local doctor. I did try to find an internist and was just really disgusted with the internist. I felt like she did not listen to me, gaslighted me on the whole, when I talked with her about menopause and the symptoms that I was going through. She was so focused on my cholesterol. And then when I tried to talk to her about my HRT, or not HRT, but going on HRT and what I was going through with the menopause, I was like, I ended up leaving there and I was like, we didn't even talk about it. Like, I talked about it, but she did not help me with it. So I'm like, all right, we will not see that doctor again. So that is my story with HRT. So anyways, I am thankful. I'm super thankful that I've been taking it and I feel great. After a little over a year, I started it in the fall of 2024. So somewhere around October. So I have been on it a little over a year, and we'll still continue to take it from now out until I don't know. We'll see. We'll just take it from there and find out. I usually do follow up doctor's appointments. I am supposed to meet with somebody from MIDI in March, I think, for my next repeat appointment before my prescriptions had to get refilled. So that's where we're at. So for the rest of my week, I will be back to work tomorrow. So I've been kind of planning out my meals for the week. We are ramping up training. We've been taking calls. So this past week, I've been taking calls for this new job. And so we're going to be transitioning more and more on more and more calls, less training. The training room has been really loud because we're all taking calls, or we're kind of like rotating, like half of us on calls and half of us not on calls, and it's still really loud. So tomorrow they're going to kind of switch it up, and I think they're going to split up the class and put us into 2 rooms. So we will see how this week goes. Fingers crossed, hopefully it's well. She's still trying to pair us up because, again, it's really loud for a big class with us all taking calls. So anyways, making me a little anxious, not helping with my anxiety, but that's just, it's a new job. So, and it's going to take a while before we all really feel like we really know what we're doing, in this new role. So I did plan out my meals, for the week. So tonight we're just going to do something easy. My son is not having dinner with us. So I think we're going to do like brats or sausages or something like that and just make it easy. But I am going to make a pot roast. Am I making a pot or a chuck roast? So I'm going to make a chuck roast. It has potatoes in it, so I always talk about that I try to do low carb, but I'll allow some potatoes and carrots in my diet. So I'm going to do a chuck roast. I think I'm going to do that tomorrow and maybe throw everything in the slow cooker. So easy dinner. And I'll tell you, it's the best thing to come home from work and feel like somebody cooked a meal for you and the meal's just waiting there ready for you. So that'll be tomorrow. I'm excited about that. And the rest of the week, I think I was going to make hamburgers and some type of chicken dinner. I've been making chicken fajitas, like a sheet pan chicken fajitas. I should share that in one of my upcoming videos on making sheet pan fajitas. Oh my God, they're so good and they're so easy. So yeah, so I might do that in my next video to show you guys how to do the sheet pan fajitas. We're already somehow at 25 minutes, so this has turned into a longer video than I had planned. If you have made it this long into my video, I just want to thank you, appreciate you. Make sure to give me a thumbs up or a like. And I will see you in my next video. Have the best day ever.
Baby girl, you are so pretty, 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 pretty. Baby girl, you are so pretty, 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 pretty. Females made you just a dream.